Former Punjab Chief Minister Capt Amarinder Singh declares he will float his new party very soon, and if the farmers' issue is resolved, does not mind having a seat-sharing agreement with the BJP and also with some breakaway Akalis. Over 30 dead as rain landslides batter Uttarakhand. Mukteshwar records the highest ever rainfall. Orange alert in Kerala. Gates of key dams opened. Two big corporates in separate social media controversies. Fab India is forced to withdraw an ad after BJP leaders tweet that it's an attempt to Muslimize a Hindu festival. Boycott Fab India trends online. Meanwhile, Zomato first sacks, then reinstates an employee following a language row on Twitter. As India approaches the 1 billion doses milestone, health experts flag worrying disparity. Massive gap between the first and the second dose percentages. 51% of adults in the country have taken only the first dose. 21% fully vaccinated. Bengal's COVID positivity rate at 3% after 122 days. Durga Puja effect behind the sharp spike? We ask. Army gearing up for major opt to flush out militants on loudspeakers. Appeals to citizens to stay indoors. Anti-terror agency meanwhile to take over the civilians killing in the valley. The probe on that. And Congress to give 40% tickets to women in Uttar Pradesh is the smallest political player in UP making a big statement. Hello and welcome. You're watching NDTV 24/7. I'm Sonal Mehrotra Kapoor. Our top story tonight. Punjab's former Chief Minister, Capt Amarinder Singh, formerly with the Congress party, today declared that he will now float his own party. And provided that the farmers' issue is resolved, would also consider an alliance with the BJP and a breakaway Akali group ahead of the 2022 polls as well. In a series of tweets, his media advisor put this information out. Ghazali joins us with the very latest on that. Ghazali, this is on expected lines. We knew he was going to do something. There was speculation. In fact, he first told NDTV that he is not going to be part of the Congress party anymore. And then he met with Amit Shah as well. So not that big a surprise. The question is, how is this likely to impact political equations in Punjab come elections?
See, this was always a sort of a writing on the wall when Amarinder Singh quit the party or when he was replaced. He spoke to NDTV first saying that he will float his own party. But now he has made it very clear that what will be the arrangement ahead of 2022 state assembly polls when he says that he will have a seat arrangement with BJP only if the farm issues are resolved or the agitation over laws are lifted. Now, besides that, he also mentions that he will also be in touch or will be an alliance with the breakaway factions of Akali Dal, because there are many breakaway factions of Akali Dal in Punjab. So he is also going to be in touch with them or the leaders of those parties. Now, how it is going to impact Punjab's polls? Because right now, the entire focus of the polls will be on the pre-poll issues which have not been resolved in Punjab for the last 4.5 years. And Amarinder Singh was at the helm of the affairs when these promises were made and also when the promises were not delivered in the last 4.5 years. So now it will have to be seen that how he projects himself will resolving the farm crisis sort of eclipse all the other major pre-poll promises of Punjab, because farm crisis or the farm law issue is not only concentrated in Punjab. It concerns other districts like UP and Haryana as well. Now, UP also goes to polls. So there are a lot of permutations and combinations to see whether BJP will accept this formula to resolve or to roll back the farm laws, because we are hearing that the union government may resolve or sort of roll back 2 of the farm laws, and such sort of arrangement could be made out between the 2. But why BJP? There has been no reaction from the BJP as of now, because since Amarinder Singh quit the party, a lot of BJP leaders were of the view that they welcome him. His decision was welcomed by the BJP leaders. But even then, BJP had not yet confirmed that Amarinder will be joining their party. Now, Amarinder Singh clearly saying that he will not be joining the party but have a seat arrangement with them. So that was well known that he will float his own party, will have a seat sharing arrangement with them, and then maybe get in touch with his own loyalists within the Congress, and many of those who may unfortunately not get the party ticket from the Congress party ahead of the polls. So those candidates or MLAs or leaders will also be in touch with Amarinder Singh.
Meanwhile, reactions are already coming in. Listen in to Capt Singh.
ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਹੀ ਕਹਿਣ ਡਿਆ ਇਹ ਇਕੱਲੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੇ ਇਹ ਬਾਦਲ ਪਰਿਵਾਰ ਵੀ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਹੈਗਾ ਇਹ ਦੇਖੋ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਨੂੰ ਜੋ ਇਹ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਦੇਣ ਆ ਉਹ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਇਕੱਠੀ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਹੀ ਆ ਸੋ ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਮੈਂ ਬੜਾ ਇਹਦੇ ਲਈ ਕਲੀਅਰ ਹੈਗਾ ਵੀ ਇਹ ਮੈਂ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਕਿ 2.5 ਸਾਲ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਉਦੋਂ ਬਹੁਤੇ ਬੰਦੇ ਇਸ ਗੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਮੰਨਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀਗੇ ਹੌਲੀ ਹੌਲੀ ਹੁਣ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਦੇਖਣ ਲੱਗ ਪਏ ਆ ਹੁਣ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਕਰਨ ਲੱਗ ਏਜੰਡਾ ਹੀ ਉੱਥੋਂ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਲਾਗੂ ਤਾਂ ਕੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਲਾਗੂ ਐਕਚੁਅਲੀ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਵਿਜ਼ੂਅਲਾਈਜ਼ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਬਟ ਐਕਚੁਅਲ ਗੱਲ ਤਾਂ ਇਹੀ ਸੀਗੀ
Moving on, over 30 people are dead as heavy rainfall battered Uttarakhand for the third straight day today, leaving authorities fearing for lives of many more who may be trapped under debris and in flooded areas. The rains have led to scenes of chaos and disaster across the hilly state, with scary visuals emerging of roads and buildings flooded and submerged, bridges destroyed and rivers overflowing. Meanwhile, look at this new record being broken of rain in both Mukteshwar and Pantnagar. 340.8 millimeters in Mukteshwar, 403.3 in Pantnagar.
Rescue teams at work across Uttarakhand. Near Badrinath, government workers used an earth mover to save this car from being washed downhill. At least 34 people have died and many are missing, and there's been a massive loss of property like this under construction bridge washed away in Champawat. Or this one in use in Haldwani district, where frantic appeals to stop a motorist work just in time, probably saving his life. The iconic Nainital Lake overflowed after over 50 centimeters of rain in 24 hours, flooding nearby workplaces and homes. The rains have led to scenes of chaos and disaster across the hilly state, with scary visuals emerging of roads and buildings flooded and submerged. It wasn't just people who were left stranded. A lone elephant was spotted battling against the rushing flood waters of the Gaula River in Haldwani district. The rainfall has been very unusual for this time of the year and very extreme. In Pauri Garhwal, it rained about 10 centimeters, which is 6,000% above normal for the last 24 hours, according to government data. Some hotels like this one were also flooded, showing stranded guests near the Jim Corbett National Park.
जो आपदा आई है, उसमें बहुत सारे लोग चले गए हैं। अभी तक 34 लोगों की मृत्यु का हमें समाचार मिला है। जो भी जिनके घर से कोई भी गए हैं तो उसमें 4 लाख रुपए प्रत्येक मृतक के परिवार को देंगे।
The Badrinath National Highway in Chamoli district has been completely blocked due to debris at 7 places, and as a precautionary measure, the Badrinath Char Dham Yatra has been halted and passengers en route to Badrinath temple have been stopped at safe places. As heavy rainfall lashes the state and wreaks havoc, all schools remain closed while there is a ban on trekking, mountaineering and camping activities in high altitude areas, including the Nanda Devi Biosphere Reserve and various forest divisions. This is Parmeshwar Bava for NDTV.
Meanwhile, Kerala's lessons learned from 2018 flood were seen in action today. Shutters of several dams, meanwhile, were also opened across the state. This is after Kerala has also seen several deaths because of the sudden, almost called cloudburst situation in the area.
Today, lessons from the 2018 flood tragedy rang out loud. sirens warned people downstream as the shutters of the Cheradoni Dam of the Idiki Reservoir were opened today. Even though the amount of water limited to just 5% compared to then. Around 60 families evacuated from low-lying areas around the dam. Shutters to several dams across the state have been opened since Monday, as many reservoirs reached the red alert mark after unusual intense rainfall, a departure of 135% from normal rainfall from 1st October till now.
The expert advisory group has considered the fact that there has been intense heavy rainfall, particularly in catchment areas over the last 4 days.
There are orange alerts, the second highest level for Kerala, for possible very heavy rainfall for next 2 days due to a fresh spell of an easterly wave.
എൻ്റെ വീടെന്ന് പറയുന്നത് 2018 തന്നെ ഒരു സൈഡ് കൊണ്ട് താന്ന വീടാണ്. ഈ വെള്ളം കയറിയതിന് ശേഷം ആ ഒരു അവസ്ഥയിലാണ് ഞങ്ങളപ്പോൾ ഈ വെള്ളം ഇങ്ങനെ കയറുമ്പോൾ ഞങ്ങളുടെ വീടിന് ബുദ്ധിമുട്ട് തന്നെയാണ്. നമുക്ക് സമാധാനമായി അകത്ത് കിടന്ന് ഉറങ്ങാൻ പറ്റത്തില്ല.
There are around 150 relief camps operating across Kerala with more than 4,000 families living in them, and this is expected to increase in days to come. While many officials are calling the recent weather conditions as unusual for October in Kerala, for the ordinary people, all of this seems to be pushing them to the brink of sustenance. With camera person SP Babu, Sneha Koshi for NDTV.
All right, with that a quick break, we'll return with all the top stories. Welcome back. In another news that was trending today, and the use of social media came to fore to unleash a brand of economic terrorism on corporates whose advertisements do not echo majoritarian beliefs. Now, Fab India has been forced to withdraw an online advertisement after several BJP leaders didn't think it was Hindu enough.
On October 9th, Fab India tweeted this, a promo for a line of clothing for the Festival of Lights called Jasn-e-Riwaz, or clothing for traditional celebration. But it has been forced to take down the campaign after the latest instance of high-level bigotry. BJP leaders came down hard on one of the biggest made-in-India brands, claiming it's an attempt to Muslimize a Hindu festival. BJP's youth wing head and MP Tejasvi Surya complained about the abramization of Hindu festivals. While C.T. Ravi, BJP's National General Secretary, urged people to find a different outlet. While the BJP's Kapil Mishra tweeted, "Time to boycott Fab India, they don't deserve our money." Soon, Boycott Fab India was trending on Twitter. Fab India did not respond officially. It was however conveyed to NDTV that Jasn-e-Riwaz was not meant to be Fab India's Diwali collection, and that a campaign with the name Jhil Mil Si Diwali will soon be announced. Many called out the attacks on Fab India on Twitter. This is not the first time a brand has been targeted over its ad campaign. But Fab India customers ask, what's in a name after all? It's the festive spirit that should be celebrated.
I'm a regular Fab India customer, and what I feel about the recent issue of trolling is that it doesn't really matter what the name is, the intention matters, and I think the brand had a good intention of mixing cultures, so it should be taken in a positive manner rather than be trolled upon.
It's basically a good thing that even the Urdus, the Muslims are also celebrating with us. So it's actually a good thing that they're doing. That's extremely shameful, and it's very disheartening to see such things that people troll over such petty issues.
जिसके पास फालतू टाइम है, these are the people who keep doing such thing. How does it matter what the name of the collection is? Look at the collection. If it's good, you buy. Otherwise, you don't.
The controversy comes almost exactly a year after Tanishq, a popular jewelry brand owned by the Tatas, was abused for their campaign featuring an interfaith baby shower. Tanishq had been forced to apologize for allegedly promoting love jihad, but they said it was for the safety of their staff. With Manu Nair in Delhi, Shonakshi Chakravarti, NDTV.
Meanwhile, that wasn't the only flip-flop. On social media today, Zomato has reinstated an employee after sacking her following an outcry on social media. Zomato sacked a customer service operative after a customer from Tamil Nadu said he was told to learn Hindi when he sought a refund. Hours later, the food delivery app's founder tweeted that the employee had been reinstated and that the level of tolerance and chill needs to be much higher in the country. India soon will achieve the vaccine milestone that is going to be the first billionth dose in the country. But this is not without a gap between the number of people who have been fully inoculated and those who have just got one shot. Today, in fact, concerns were raised even by the health experts, saying that a lot of people, eligible adults in the country, have not come in for their second shot. 51% of the country's adults have received just the one dose and only about 20% fully vaccinated.
There are many reasons to celebrate this festive season. Very soon, India will complete 100 crore vaccinations. But the government today red-flagged its new big concern, that a sizable number have not received their second dose.
The centre says it has enough doses to cover people waiting for their second dose, and also underlined that it can provide extra doses to states specifically for second dose coverage if it is needed.
States have been asked for their strategies to enhance second dose coverage and urged to focus on the second vaccination dose. However, while the government didn't put a number, there have been some estimates. NDTV reported that in Telangana, 25 lakh people had missed their second dose deadline in the first half of October.
The threat is that if some population remain there which is susceptible for infection, they will continue to have infection, and we have long period of the presence of the virus and more chances of mutation.
In India, 51% of the total population has taken only one dose, which gives 30 to 50% protection against infection. Only 21% of the population is fully covered.
The festive season is well and truly here. Markets are crowding again with people who want to shop for their loved ones. But even as we celebrate the 100 crore vaccinations, we cannot afford to get complacent. 4 out of 5 people are still only partially vaccinated or not vaccinated at all. With Sushil Rathi, Meher Pandey for NDTV.
Well, that's all we could pack in this edition. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.